Hey guys, welcome back to the Running in Circles podcast. Last year was a remarkable year because many of us graduated in that year and took another step forward in our life. So, in this episode, we'll talk about our lives after college. Joining me in this episode are Harsha and Vaishnavi.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Yeah, Harsha obviously makes a second season in a row, and Vaishnavi is a newcomer here. So, to start off the episode, why don't you tell us about what you're doing currently and what are the things that you miss about college?
Hi Palav, hi everyone. It's great to be back. I'm really happy to be here. Palav is a very good friend of mine, and it's really great to be on this podcast again. And thank you so much for having me, Palav. To give a little insight about me, I graduated last year, and after graduating, now I'm currently working at a digital marketing firm. Um, yeah,
Yeah. So, what do you miss about college?
what do I miss about college? Okay, there are a lot of different things that I miss about college. Um, I honestly miss the fact that I had a reason to go out of my house every day, and when I was out, I would return back home only at night. Now I do not have the liberty or the time to do that. So that's
Mm,
one thing. And the major part about being in college is that freedom you give yourself in a way, like when you're in college, you're always looking to do something innovative, so you don't have to attend classes in particular. So you're
right.
always trying to work on a project, trying to like think about what's the next big thing. And right now after college, you don't really have that that thought or that free time to be actually fully devoted to something that you want to pursue per se. That's not really something. That's again subjective, and it
Mm,
depends on person to person, but that's generally what I feel.
fair. Yeah. What about you, Vaishnavi?
So hi guys, this is my first time on this podcast. I'm
Yes.
Vaishnavi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Uh, I just graduated this year. What I miss
What?
about college is basically having a routine because being having a routine. So I am a really big procrastinator. So when I have to do something
We all
myself,
are.
it's like it's not yeah, it might not happen. So that's what I miss most about college, the way sometimes they force you to do things. So I'm like, okay, fine. And what definitely affects me the most is not having face-to-face interactions.
Mm,
It's so important as humans to have that connection with other people. It makes life worth living. So the like Harsha said, not having a reason to meet new people or to meet even your friends is like a little bit, it is not a little bit, pretty sad. So yeah, I guess
mm.
that's that.
Yeah. I mean, to talk about what I miss about college, I would say, one is friends, obviously. You make some great friends. I'm sure you guys must have made some great friends in your college also. So that would be number one. Second would be, as you said, routine. You know, routine was a good and a bad thing. Like for like I'm sure we all would have woken up at 6 a.m. sometimes to catch your class at 7 or 8. So that
Hmm.
was one thing. Like right now, maybe it's because of the pandemic, but I'm sure we all have got a bit lazy to an extent because of the pandemic. As Harsh has
Definitely.
said, there's not much to do sometimes. So that would be there. Then the last thing would be, I really miss that the sort of uh, the home environment that you felt. I mean, I'm home right now, but the college home was different. Like you had professors and your fellow wingmates and stuff like that. And that wing culture was something that I really miss. That would be one. Yeah, that would be it. So coming to the next part, which is what are the things that you really like after graduating from college?
Yeah, I'd go ahead and answer the question first. So, since I've graduated college, I don't know if many people can relate to this or not, but I feel like a huge burden off my shoulders has been lifted, because like in general, when you're in college, although college is pretty chill to an extent, right? You still have the whole fact that you have to clear exams, you have to study, you have to, at least for a small amount of time, you need to put in hard work and clear those exams. And everyone used to say that once you're done with engineering, or once you're done with college, you'll set a career path for yourself. You'll know what you want to do in life. And in many ways, I have sort of understood what I want to do next, because all when I was in college, I was always conflicted between whether I should pursue higher education or whether I should do an MBA.
Mm,
But now I have the clarity and the clear vision for my career, what I want to be doing next. Apart
mm,
from that, I really I don't miss waking up at 6 a.m. That is something that I really love. And the I don't know if it's a blessing or whether it's not good for my body, but I love the fact that you can just wake up 5 minutes before work, and you can be literally in your bed and be attending meetings and doing work. I mean,
yeah,
I love it. I love
yeah.
it.
I mean, that would count more as the work from home advantage than after college advantage. But yeah, it counts. It all counts.
That's true. And I love the fact that I'm not being forced to attend classes from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. Not like much learning was happening in class, because at the end of the day, you had yourself. That's it.
Mm,
You had to study and you had to clear your exams and whatnot. Um, and I love it, because right now there are so many lessons from college that I take forward. There are so many things which I would like to carry forward for the rest of my life. Certain friendships, certain lessons from people and whatnot. I love it. Right now, it just feels like my life is starting off. I
mm,
am at a phase where I have the liberty to experiment with my life. Experiment in a sense, try out different fields, try out different things to know exactly what I'm passionate about. So
mm,
this is something that I really like. Um, Apart from that, I started working recently, so now I have to work night shifts, like from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning, which is a completely new experience for me. It's
yeah.
something that I've never done in my life, and
Mm,
I've never felt obligated to stay awake for that long. Maybe I
yeah.
have stayed awake because of
Yeah.
other reasons, like binge watching shows, and that's on me. But
Mm,
here I'm obligated to stay awake,
correct.
so that's a new challenge for me, and I'm looking forward to it. Of course, there's a lot of learning, and the thing that I really appreciate right now is how important it is to build networking skills, because in
Mm,
college I was someone who always networked, and I had a huge group of friends, right? So
mm,
now I really appreciate that skill of mine, because when you're at work, it's a completely new environment. You're meeting new people of different backgrounds, different perspectives, different thought processes, right?
yeah.
It's so important to build connection with your colleagues, because they help you, but also it's when you need to work as a team, it's important to
That you know
be.
the colleague.
Exactly. So these are some of the things that I take away from college, and I really apply in my day-to-day life. But yeah, as I told you, I really hated waking up at 6 a.m. and I don't miss it at all.
Yeah. Good to know. Vaishnav.
Yeah, what I like right now is how chill my life is. There's nothing that I have to do absolutely until and unless I decide I want to do it. And also, what I like is that you get to know who your friends are, because in
Hmm.
college sometimes what happens, people
You,
are friends with you out of necessity,
yeah, I mean,
or like,
you're friends with everyone, and I mean, we're all friends with everyone in college. So yeah, I mean, after college,
yeah, that's
it
what
sort of
you
becomes clear.
you understand. Yeah, the group thins out, and you understand who you really connect with. So yeah, so that's what I've been liking about my life after college. And also I have gotten time to connect with my family and my sibling. And it's really nice from that point of view, that you're getting closer to the people who you've lived with your whole life. And it's not that you're not there before, but when you actually sit and you have time to talk to them in the hustle bustle of our daily lives. So it's really nice to build on that connection.
Hmm. Yeah.
And one more thing is the being like a creative person. So since I have ample amount of time, so whenever inspiration hits, like at maybe say 3 a.m. or like 10 a.m. in the morning,
Hmm.
you could just sit down, open your sketchbook, put pencil to paper, and just create something without worrying about, oh, I have this submission, oh, I have to complete this work, or I have to complete that work. So since I'm not working currently and I have a gap year, I'm having a good time, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. So to talk about me, what are the things that I like after college? I would say three things. One is the rewarding experience of your work. I'm like, even in college, I used to do a lot of projects, but those would be for other reasons, like to do research and stuff. That was fine, but I feel like the work that you do after college, you really, when you get those paychecks, I feel like you've achieved something, and you've earned it. That earning part of it is what I really like after college. I don't think work was getting rewarded in college. I mean, it was getting rewarded in other ways, like like publishing papers and stuff, but uh, after college it's been uh, another level. Second thing would be routine. As I said in the first point, routine was a good thing and a bad thing. So the routine that I have now, in where I can go to uh, work anytime I want to, play anytime I want to, uh, do other things that I want to. I feel like it was much more restricted in college, where we had to, we had a fixed schedule of classes and stuff. So that freedom in terms of deciding your routine, that is really good after college. And the third thing would be family. Like in college, my college wasn't in Bangalore, so I did my bachelor's in another city, so I didn't have enough time for family. But then over the past 2 years, I've got so much time with them, uh, so much time to spend with them, that I really appreciate, uh, and I lacked this family time in college. So yeah, moving on from there, uh, I would say, what is the biggest difference between your 18-year-old self and compared to you now?
Yeah. Wow. That's
That's a very
that's
massive question.
yeah. Because it's one thing. Yeah, when you're 18, your priorities are different. Your perspective about life is different. Your your biggest dream in this world is to complete engineering without having any backlogs, right? That that is your 18-year-old self, at least for an engineering
Fair.
student.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, when I was 18, I I had no thoughts about what I would actually do after engineering, because I figured, if I'm going to spend 4 years at a college studying something, I might as well figure out what I want to do next in life. So at that point, I was not really bothered by the question of what next. But yeah, when I look back at myself when I was 18 years old, I I not want to change one single thing of the series of events that followed after,
Mm,
because everything that's happened has happened in such a way that I have learned my lesson from it. And it's very integral to who I am right now, or to the person I will go on to become from now on, because
mm,
everything has taught me something or the other, which I really appreciate. Right? I The biggest difference between my 18-year-old self and me right now is I've started to appreciate failures. Right?
mm.
At 18 years old, as an 18-year-old, if I were to face failure, it would be the
End
most
of the world.
depressing, yeah, the most depressing thing I've ever seen. Right? It's
Yeah.
like a whole other vibe when you're 18 and you're like depressed. You're like, no. But now, when I look at failures don't seem like the biggest hurdle at all. You know, the biggest problem to overcome right now is your mindset, because you start to realize that the problem is not the failure, but the problem is your mindset. Right?
Yeah, dealing
That's
with failure.
exactly. So that's the biggest difference I see from my 18-year-old self and me currently.
Mm. Vaishnavi, what about you?
Yeah, it's a pretty big topic because it's been quite some time since I was 18. So
Yeah.
definitely I have changed a lot as a person. Like Harsha said, like I've learned to take things not as seriously because at 18, like I was a very nervous person. Like failure was definitely the end of the world, and I wanted to be good at everything before I even learned about it. Like the first time I do it, I have to be good at it. So that was like a big problem for me, and overcoming that is what I've tried to do in these past few years. And I would say, uh, when like trying to take things lightly, and not giving so much importance to yourself, like the fact that you used to think that it is going to be the end of the world. Like when I was pursuing my engineering, I thought that was the only path for me, that was the only journey for me. And
Yeah.
growing up, see that when you like start to relax a little bit, you'll see that there are different things in a life that you can enjoy.
Yeah.
And
So I'm sure, like, uh, you know, for you
hello.
it must have been a little different, right? Because you took a gap year, and so what was that like?
Yeah, for me, the gap year was very important for me to take because somewhere I knew I wanted to get into design, but uh, there was this huge amount of peer pressure because every other person you see is doing engineering. So it felt like it's the only path, that will be successful, only path that is stable. So, following that mindset, I did get into engineering. I did graduate this year, but it was, there was always this thought in the back of my mind that this is not for me. I am not meant for this. So, I guess in the third year of college, I started preparing for NID and IIT. But India as a market for design, especially communication design, it is not that great. Even if you see NID has like say 2 seats in the general category, IIT has like 11 seats, and there
Mm.
are like thousands of people who write the exam. So it is
Yeah.
pretty crazy here.
Yeah. I mean, reservations is a completely different topic, and we could
Yeah,
make
we
another
don't,
episode on that, but I
yeah.
mean, we could probably save that for later.
Yeah, definitely. But like, growing up, I the thing is, I realized that all this is a big part of life, and you, it's okay to try new things, even if it feels like you're the only one doing it.
Mm.
So I think that was a turning point for me, and that helped my personality also, I guess, open up more and be
Mm.
able to communicate my thoughts better, because it gave me a sense of security that okay, I know what I want to do. Okay, it might not be the same as others, but it is also another path that I can take.
Hmm.
So I guess, yeah, that's
That
the
would
biggest thing that
your
has changed.
learnings. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so to talk about an 18-year-old self of mine, I would say when I was 18, your goals would be pretty like straightforward and just one dimension. Like at 18, I'm sure the only goal was to get into a better college, do good in college and stuff like that. But I feel like that has completely evolved over the last 4 5 years. you know you, it's not just those things that you want, but you want other things like getting into a good company, getting into uh, having good friends, having time for yourself, and so many other multi-dimensional things that you want to achieve, and not just your single goal of doing good in college. So yeah, that has been the biggest growth uh, from college to now. And then, as Harsha said, you start to appreciate your failures, because I'm sure there were many times in college that got us exposed to failure, and uh, the way we dealt with failure, that has been a big learning curve, and you still continue to apply that in your like current job or things like that. So yeah, this sort of brings us to the end of the episode. Do you guys have a few words to add?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of made me nostalgic to think about what I miss about college and how my life is so different right now. It's one thing that you know you always had an expectation that your life would be like this once you're done with college. You would be doing this, you'd be going out on vacations, whereas obviously no one's going out on vacations right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's quite nostalgic. In college, life seemed so simple, right? You go to college every day. You'll have exams every once in 6 months. Clear those exams, and then for the next 6 months you're again chilling. But now it's not like that. It's nowhere close to being like that. 24/7, you're under so much,
Scrutiny.
yeah, scrutiny. That's exactly the right word. Everyone's looking to get better and better and better, and somewhere I feel like on this journey, right, you forget who you actually, where you started off,
Mm,
who you were. So it's quite nostalgic, and I hope I get to preserve that part of me, how I was in college, take it
mm,
forward from here.
yeah. Okay, then that brings us to the end of the episode. It was great to have both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pallav. Thank you for having us.